Hello, Lorcana YouTube community, and all my fellow Sapphire and Steel players or Amber Steel enjoyers. Welcome to the latest episode of the Select Few podcast. It is me, Create Rip Lungs, and I'm actually here with the Select Few team, aka I'm gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves. Let's start off with the Buffy guy, Mr. Buff Tough guy over here.
Go ahead, Justice. What's up? What's up, guys? I'm Alvin, aka LoreGainz. What's happening?
Oh,
And I'm Justice. You can find me at Lorcana Justice on Twitter.
yes, you guys in the channel should be aware with these guys. They've come out on the channel before. I've done videos with them. For those of you who don't know, Select Few is actually a team that I was able to create through the opportunity of Maelstrom Luke Wonderland. For those of you who I'm pretty sure are familiar with, he won DLC Seattle. He's going to Worlds, and he actually created this league, which is the Illumineers Champions League, if I'm not mistaken. And it was actually created with 20 teams all across the Lorcana scene, different parts of the country, communities, and pretty much Luke got all these teams together, and we're pretty much doing this competitive online Lorcana thing, since a lot of the competitive stuff in person is just isn't really happening. And you can actually catch all these events matches on Luke's Twitch. I'll go ahead and leave all that in the description. But yeah, this is actually the team select few with LoreGainz, Mr. Justice, and I actually have our friend Mark. But Mark's actually on his way to Pokemon Nationals, so good luck to him.
Hey, Mark.
He actually won in 2019, 2017, something like second place, sorry, something like that. So wish him the best of luck. But
Oh,
yeah, yeah. What do y'all think about that, man? Pokemon.
Mark's representing Pokemon, bro. Hey, Mark, bring some of that luck over here.
Some of that
Yeah, hopefully we
prize
see you on
money,
Where you
stream.
at, bro?
some prize money,
Yeah.
some team jerseys or something. Nah, but yeah, good luck to Mark. But yeah, today's episode is pretty much gonna be. I don't think I ever showcased a team on YouTube, and we actually have some awesome news for those of you who aren't aware or have been keeping up to date with the Illumineer Champions League. For the past 2 months, if I'm not mistaken, we've had 4 rounds. These 20 teams battling out, and we were able to go 3-1, securing fourth place, and we made it to the top 8 after those 2 months. It was crazy, man. What are you guys' thoughts on how all those matches went?
I think it's been a blast. It's been so much fun. Chatting with you guys before the matches come up, and I do look forward to it. So it always gave me something to look forward to. And since, like you said, there's no big events going on right now, except for Mark.
Yep,
Mark's got
yep.
all the big events, but it made me really excited. Made me look forward to like crafting with my deck and actually putting a little bit more thought into what I was putting together. And it's a team thing, so we all like match decks. They have to be complete. They have to be different color pairings, which was also really fun. And it just works out that I'm Amber Steel guy. You guys can go swing both ways. Green,
Yeah,
blue steel or purple steel or red blue.
yeah.
So I feel like we have a really good combination of colors on lock.
Yeah, Justice, what about you?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a joy to play, right? Having something to do to fill some of that time between tournaments, but just, the whole thing, right? The production from Wonder and everyone he gets to help do it. They put on a great like pre-show and commentary for all the matches. And it's
Good
been
point.
great getting to play just like a huge variety of people and to see what they bring and to, do that theory coming in, right? What are we taking this week? How do we split up the lists? What do we think other people are going to bring? That kind of team planning and organization in the lead up to every match is like a fun part of this that you don't necessarily get to do if you're just bringing a deck to a tournament, right? You think, all right, I'm going to play this deck, it's fine, but it's you got to be a bit more involved when you're considering like what does the team do? How do we split it up?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point you brought up. Also about the production and the quality that these guys put on the pre-show, the after-show. So big shout out to the ICO team. Again, I'm gonna have all that social media information down below. But again, after these past 2 months, we played all these matches. We went against all these teams. We lost one. We lost one round, but that's okay. We were able to come back. And I'm actually gonna show right here on the screen the 8 teams that moved on to the top cut. As you can see right there, we got fourth place. We finished second in our bracket, so that was super awesome. and we're actually gonna be playing next Friday against Lorcana Villains, aka Lorcana Villain and his team with Wochuk, Sky, and a whole bunch of other good players. So what are y'all thoughts on that match and
Oh,
how it's gonna go
oh.
down?
I did
It's
not know who was on that team. That is a
yeah, me
scary
either,
lineup.
You guys
bro.
didn't.
Me either.
Yeah, they're kind of
No,
stacked.
they are stacked.
But
Well,
it's
bring it
okay.
on.
Yeah, it's
Bring it
okay.
on. We got this.
Yeah, and I think it was a cool point that Justice brought up how like this again like I can't stress enough how like cool the ICL is because for a competitive player like me being able to watch high level gameplay, understanding the meta, what the ICL brings not only all these people together to show this competitive but like how you mentioned different strategies, talking with other players how we're gonna counter the opposing team and stuff like that. So I just want to say like I'm glad that you guys joined my team. It's been an awesome experience, and if we can win it all, it's gonna be big things. But even if not, we already made top 8. We already pulled up. LoreGainz has been on a crazy Amber Steel streak. I believe he 2-0'd all of his opponents except for the last round. I don't know if you want to just tell the viewers like how that experience was using Amber Steel, and again, if you can share a little insight on how it is like during those matches, especially the last rounds.
Yeah, you have to really prime yourself and train in luck.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yes.
kidding. Top deck luck. No, it's so the first 2 rounds I played some not super random, but I tried throwing a bit of a curveball with my deck build. I am a big Mufasa fan, so I made sure to play Mufasa in the first 2 rounds, and it did not disappoint. Now the funny thing is, there was a Mufasa, but only one Mufasa in each deck. There was only one Mufasa
I
because I
like
like him
that.
so much.
Yeah, I like that. I like that
But
spice.
everything else put in work. Like everything. I think I only played him once. I only played him once throughout all the matches,
Mm-hmm.
all the games, all the matches. But I came in with Amber Steel. Tends to be one of the most flexible,
Broken decks.
powerful. It can high roll, and I was playing more of a mid range. I got paired up with Green Steel.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow clutched it out. That's a tough matchup if you don't see your removal, of course.
Mm-hmm.
In the second one was Ruby Amethyst against Zenulus. Shout out to you, Zenulus. You played it
Yes.
fantastic. But I high rolled, but I feel like I kept my composure.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that there's nobody around you when you're playing, so you can really zone in and focus. You know how I live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Live streaming is really hard because I have like all these freaking lights everywhere,
Chat
and I'm
going on.
taking care of the chat. Yeah, I'm reading the chat, and I'm trying to play and make sure everything's in within the screen. So it was very calming. Like lights dimmed, I got to like chill out. So my mental preparation was there. Like I was able to lock it in mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Also kind of knowing what the opponents were going to play. I know the last round, we really locked in what
We
they could
locked
have
it.
been playing.
We locked in, yeah.
We're like, okay, it's going to be either this, or this.
Uh,
And at the end, I ended up playing Sisu, which he's
oh
known
yeah.
to play Green Steel.
Uh-huh.
I was like praying, please don't give me Sisu, because he's got Green Steel. And I was on Amber Steel songs, and Green Steel, if it high rolls, it can really bust Amber Steel songs. But he ended up playing Purple Steel. We each won on the play. He smacked me on the play. I beat him on both plays. So
Yes.
it came down. Yeah, it was a lot of luck there on high rolling and getting to go first. But everyone played it well, and yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good game.
That
It was a
that
good match with all of you guys.
Yeah, that round was crazy. Especially how like like a few days before, I was like, "Hey, we have to win this," and both of you guys were like going to use not necessarily a bad like a jank list, but you guys were gonna go a little bit different. And I was like, "Nah, this is gonna be try hard," and
Yeah.
I'm glad we were all able to do that. And Justice almost won his game, being on the
Yeah.
draw. I think I don't know if you want to
Mhm.
talk a little bit about that, Justice. You were known to be able to use Sapphire and Steel and Ruby Sapphire, between me and you coordinating that, and picking and choosing when it'd be the best opportunity. And I think it's very cool to see a player at this skill level being able to pilot both decks. How did you feel these 4 matches? I believe you played in all of them, so that's super dope.
Yep.
Yeah, just go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, real mix on the blue steel red blue thing, right? I played red blue blue steel red blue blue steel, so it was just the both lists I think as the meta changes and as whatever's comfortable at the time, right? We just kind of flexed what was best, and it was, I mean, all the matches were like super solid, right?
All
And
your
getting to
matches
play
were
into some
tight.
really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
The red Fossa in round 3, and then the blurple items in that 4th round, and that blurple items deck is
That was
turns out I
wild.
think that's a really good blue steel counter.
It
I had to
is.
play it a few more times. I went from that ICL round. I then played it in set champs like the following day, and then I saw Blurple twice at the UK Games Expo. And so I was like, after that ICL round, I was like, oh, I got this match down on like lock. I know this in and out now. I know what I got to avoid. And so the prep from that was great. But just, yeah, really great like back and forth on all that. And another shout out for just the organization of the league and the structure of the thing, right? Every match we had where like win or lose coming off of my games and then going into those next ones, waiting to find out like, all right, watch the stream. Are we winning? Are we losing? Are we clutching this out? It's just a joy to go through that process, right? To see it, even out the series 1-1 in that final round, to be looking for that win
That
and then
last
to clutch it
game.
back at the end.
That's
Beautiful.
crazy. Yeah, man. I can't stress enough how much more I agree with you. And I guess I can speak a little bit on Mark's part because Mark did play in the first 2 rounds. I am gonna have his picture here so the viewers can see. But yeah, a little bit on Mark's games. The first, I believe the first round he went against red blue and he was on red purple or purple steel, and he just didn't see any 1-drops being on the draw game 3, and that was a really close game. And then round 2, they were going to game 3, but I believe Mark had a error with his deck list, so he ended up getting a game loss. But that game didn't look promising either way. But Mark was on purple steel. He's a very good amethyst player, and I do like how the 4 of us were able to use all these decks. I think we all played awesome, and I think the only game was bad was probably my blue steel against green steel. That was probably like the worst match since I got 0-2'd. I think I'm the only one that got 0-2'd. But we won't talk about that. Yeah, it was just an awesome experience. I think the most fun part about me was being able to root for my homies. Like the games where I couldn't play, I was at work or busy with stuff, watching it on my phone. Like, all right, come on, bro. Like I'm rooting for these guys, right? And that was just the most awesome part for me. And again, I want to thank you guys for being a part of this. I think we're part of Lorcana history, man. I think being in the top 8 definitely means something. Even though we're not really playing for, there's a trophy. I'm not sure if you guys seen the trophy, but there is a cool trophy. But really, like, we're not really playing for money. We're not playing for prizes. But at the end of the day, like, I think players at our level, like, who cares? When we're going against other players who are good, we want to be able to beat them and say that we're better. I guess you can call it, bragging rights. But to me, like, that's just the most fun, like being able to hop on and go against someone cracked. We made it. We're in the top 8 after 4 rounds. Again, we went 3-1. We're going against Lorcana Villain Club. What are y'all's thoughts? Again, our match is next Friday, the 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. And we don't know who's going first. We don't know what decks we're using, so you guys can't. Just in case any of the villains are watching, but I'm hyped. What about you guys?
I think this is gonna be. It's always been tough. It's always been tough. It's never been like an easy win. Like we get out of there unscathed. It's always a battle. We get to play against amazing players, so I'm pumped. Win or lose, I'm gonna get experience on my belt. But the win's gonna feel nice.
It's gonna be some
The
clout.
win's gonna feel really, really nice. Yeah, but we're gonna give it all, man. Like we're gonna fight till the end.
What about you, Justice?
Yep.
What are you feeling right now?
So, I mean, I'm excited for any of the 3 of them to come up as a potential opponent in those rounds. But I've played Baker before, and he won our last match.
Uh-oh.
So for me, I'm hoping maybe we get a round 1 pairing for this, and then I can take the revenge set there. So
Yeah, man,
I'm excited. I'm pumped.
Yeah, Justice is in the UK, right? You're in England?
Yeah.
Bro, so you've been playing at like midnight.
These
games. You've been playing these games like at midnight. That's props to you, man.
He came through for
me,
bro.
You don't have a British accent. What's happening? What's good? Are you from here?
So,
Are you from the US?
I grew up in California. And
Okay,
so
Get
I've been here.
outta
I've been here
here.
like 20 years. So it's kind of
Wow.
wild that the accent hasn't. It never went away. But
It,
bring a
it
little bit of
comes
the
on.
culture with me.
It comes on at the pub
at the drinks and the
with the
pub.
bros,
You get enough
with the
drinks and you got to
lads,
try it.
with
But
the
it's
lads, right? Is that
We got an
exactly it.
EU, yeah. We got
Exactly.
an EU demon over here being part of our team. That's super awesome. Again, against Lorcana villains, whatever happens at the end of the day, we made top 8. We showed up, we proved out, and it's just awesome to be part of that history. And especially, if I'm not mistaken, they're gonna continue it after this. Like they'll do a third season, and I believe we already been invited to that. So that's really awesome. Now we're in set 8 because all these matches were set 6, set 7, if I'm not mistaken, or I believe they're all set 7. I can't quite remember,
Yeah.
but now we're in set 8. Before set 7 ended, Justice, you actually were able to get top 16 at Axion, if I'm not mistaken, is how you pronounce it.
UK Games Expo.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about that real quick before I dive onto it. I'm gonna connect this.
Yep. So after all the doom and gloom last set, and after that ban list tore us apart, I ended up back on Blue Steel. I played Blue Steel for every single set champs I went to, and I got a top cut at all of them. So
yeah.
then I took the top 16 at the Games Expo on best of 2, and so
players, if I'm not mistaken.
184.
184 best of
So
2.
big then.
And I
That's
thought
like
Sapphire
a
Steel was dead. I thought it was dead.
Exactly. Nobody's playing ramp but me these days. But we're looking at it for set 8 as well. And honestly, new cards, they're good. Rhino, it's a great card. Beyond the Horizon, Green Steel was a tough matchup anyway.
Yeah.
But all things considered, I don't even think the list has to change that much, right? I think we're in the same place we were. People say the meta's fast. I don't think the meta's fast. I think there's like one fast deck in the meta, and then everything else is slow, right? If you're not Amber Steel aggro, you're going at a snail's pace. And so Blue Steel World,
Yeah,
I think it's there. I think
Congrats
it's
to you on getting that and that top 16. And the reason why I brought that up was again how this ICO is going to be in set 8. We have all of these new cards. Alvin, what are your thoughts in the meta right now? What have you seen so far? And Amber Steel got a lot of nice new toys, a little hamster. What are your thoughts about the meta right now?
Steel is looking cracked right now. It's doing really well. Of course, Green Steel. I've always played Amber Steel. Now I don't even want to play it anymore because everyone's playing it.
Now you know how we feel last set when Veil came out.
Yeah, but we're playing try hard, so I might stick to Amber Steel. I might not. Who knows? Villain Club.
Could be
it might be a surprise.
Could be aggro.
Could be anything, guys.
Could be Mufasa.
Yeah, I don't want to throw out exactly what I'm going to play, but I'm definitely going to play something uncomfortable with. And I like Rhino. I like the new lady. I like Namari, Desperate Plan. Those are all really good cards that Amber Steel got. It got a lot of support. Steel got a lot of support too. Yeah. Especially that New Horizon card, which is cracked.
Yeah.
It can be cracked.
I agree.
Right? In situations. You see songs playing it. You see Green Steel playing it. It is very flexible if you're running singers. So almost any deck can play it if you have, that shift mechanic in there. But I think Amber Steel is the top of my list on decks to beat.
Yeah, I think the meta is barely we're like 1 weekend, if I'm not mistaken, 2 weeks in, and like
2 weeks.
Technically, the set isn't officially out until this weekend when it hits retailers and stuff like that. So I think so far it's too early to tell, but like you said, Amber Steel looks pretty good. Green Steel is Green Steel. Red Blue has pretty much stayed the same, if I'm not mistaken, but they've leaned towards more now the item build and the DKP build. And then, for me and Justice, Sapphire, and Steel, we're still planning out on what cards we can mess with, whether it be the Wardrobe, Namari, Desperate Plan, stuff like that. But the reason why I brought it up again is because I kind of want to give the viewers like an insight on how a team from the ICO, or at least us, can kind of shed a little bit of light on how we plan our matches. So, for example, we're going against Villain Club. We've all done a little bit of research, I've done a little bit of research, know who the players are. So, for example, we know that Lorcana Villain's on there, we know Sky's on there, we know Wochuk's on there, and, Dick Burns, if I'm not mistaken, is also on there. And we know that these guys are, what is that? That's ruby amethyst. That's sapphire and steel, amber steel. There's amethyst steel. So when that's kind of how we go about it. You know, we recognize who is on the team, what are our options, and I think I kind of said all the possible decks that we could play against. I don't know what you guys want to shed some light on that.
I think you nailed it. Honestly, I think you nailed it. If they're going to play something, it's going to be something they're very, very comfortable with and very confident with. So I don't see him, venturing off. And that's fine. If we know what they're playing, I don't think it makes a difference for them because they're going to still play it at, full 100%. Yeah.
What about you, Justice?
Yeah, I think the big one is right. Okay, who are their players? What are they likely to play? Right, Wochuk, I'd put him on Amber Steel. Sky, I mean, we know he likes Blue Steel historically, but we've been in Discord today going back and forth with him about Blue Steel in set 8, and he is not keen on it. So I'd be real surprised if he pulled it out for the ICL, right? Maybe it's a misdirect. Maybe he's plotting those seeds where he knows we can see it.
Yep.
So, then you got to try and take that into account, right? Okay, if we think we're going to put, Wochuk on Amber Steel, something else there, right? Is he going to lean Purple Steel? Is he going to lean Green Steel?
Exactly.
Something else.
Or vice versa.
And so you can try and whittle that down into what we think the most likely outcome is.
If Sky's not a fan of Sapphire Steel right now, then we can probably, conclude that he might be on Amber Steel, meaning that Wochuk might have to play something else. And, Wochuk plays a lot of Amethyst Steel. So then we know, oh, well, we got Lorcana Villain on the So that's kind of how I'm assuming other teams plan it on too. So again, that's really an awesome part of it. But I'm super hyped for the match. We still have a lot of team planning, discussing to do. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on. Any closing thoughts, LoreGainz, that you want to shout out, where everyone can find you?
I am on LoreGainz everywhere on all the social medias, and big shout out to all the community. You guys make this possible. Also for us content creators, you guys make this possible. We make content for you guys. So thank you for being engaged. Thank you for hopping on our streams or videos and just being in tune with the community, right? Chatting, sharing your ideas and everything. So shout out to you guys.
Justice?
Yep. And for me, catch me on Twitter. That's where I am all the time. And then 2 weeks from now, we've got the next Axion event here in the UK. It's something like, I guess, 2 5Ks would be the kind of equivalent thing. They're giving away a full set of every enchanted from the first chapter, 10 graded, as prizes like across the weekend. So like the top 4 performers get like 2 each.
Damn.
And then like some of those getting raffled out. Otherwise, that's on top of like travel to events for winners for the thing. It's going to be big. I'll be playing there. Anyone in the UK, come catch me there. Say hi. And we'll see if we can bring that one home too.
Awesome. Good luck.
Good luck.
I think that wraps up. Again, our match is going to be next Friday against Lorcana Villain Club. They're going down. I'm sorry, Baker. You're cooked. You know where to find us. Select Few also has an X now, so it's going to be Select Few TCG. You can go ahead and follow us there. We'll be updating everyone. You know me, Create TCG on all social media platforms. Shout out to everyone who watched the video. Shout out to the ICL. Shout out to LoreGainz, Mark, and Justice for being part of Select Few. And I can't wait to see what happens, guys. I appreciate you guys for coming on the podcast. And until the next one.
Awesome. See you guys.